Welcome to Season 1, Episode 2 of Revive Review, where we're going to take a deep dive into the branding and marketing efforts of high school sports departments. I'm Eric, your host and co-owner of Revive Solutions, and today I'll be joined by Zach, also a co-owner and in charge of our creativity department.
Thanks for having me. We had a great time last week digging into high school marketing and branding efforts of DeSoto. We're looking forward to discussing how to implement some new ideas in which will have a huge impact on your high school sports programs.
A quick overview of what we do here on Revive Review. Each episode, we're going to take a randomly selected high school sports department and go through a live branding assessment using their current website and social media presence. We hope to highlight what they're doing well and maybe provide some solutions to help improve their school brand. Now let's get started today with ADM High School, the home of the Tigers in Adel, Iowa. Let's dive in and take a look at their efforts to see what our experts think.
All right, let's go ahead and get started with their website. It looks like they're using the Presto Sports template, or it's powered by Presto Sports. Right off the bat, as soon as you go to admactivities.org, super clean, super functional. Just on the homepage, we have stories and pictures scrolling, great high-def pictures highlighting athletes, kind of their achievements, easy to read, bold titles with their school colors. Looks like to me predominantly using that red color they have with some black and white kind of thrown in there. Eric, what are your thoughts just kind of taking a look at it?
I'll tell you, I've been in a lot of back ends in the CMS of these, and so I always get kind of curious about how sports departments choose to organize. So right away, I'm checking out the banner headers to see how they've organized their sports, and they're choosing to do that by men's and women's sports. Certainly nothing wrong with that. That's just your organizational preference. I think that kind of plays into how you're going to choose to organize and talk about things throughout your program. So, putting some emphasis on that and being consistent about how that's going to play out inside your department. Going through there. Love the fact that all the schedules, rosters, and news are available. That's something that Presto Sports provides in their back end on their CMS. It links directly to those scores and rosters. The two most important things that people are coming to your website to view are your rosters and the score reports or the scheduling information. So very easy to find that. I also like that they've separated out their sports and their performing arts, that is included. I know some folks, some departments, when things become too incumbent, maybe for just one person to handle, usually that kind of gets cut out. So I'd be curious to see, exactly how much those are being covered, but I do appreciate those being there as always a one-stop shop to be able to find all the information. The fact that they are calling this an activities department, they're really living by that.
And just going through, as Eric was talking, I have clicked on just about every sport on the men's and women's side. I'm amazed. Every homepage for every sport has multiple stories with multiple pictures highlighting multiple athletes from, men's baseball at the top all the way over to women's golf. I see multiple stories, again, just highlighting athletes and dated well. Everything, the functionality of this website is something I think if you're looking to model a website after, definitely a school you want to check out, because just the way they're able to kind of make it user-friendly and super easy to get around and really identify what content you're looking for is just outstanding.
Yeah, and I'll be honest here, it's very hard pressed for me to find anything that they are doing wrong. So hats off to AD here. Seems to be very well put together. Couple things, I'm missing some photos of opponents' mascots here on the scoreboard. That might be just a back end thing. It might be something that Presto Sports might be responsible for, as it does appear to be a little bit of an issue with all of their score reporting. And I'll be honest, just a small thing. Not that it's a huge deal, but we want to help. One of the things that I would do is maybe for those rotating sponsor graphics there on the front page, try to find PNG files. Take away that background color so that you maybe have just a little bit more consistency, and then think about sizing, making sure that all of those files are sized correctly so that they're appearing in the same dimensions.
A nice little touch I see as I scroll down here too is, have you noticed the tiger eyes in the background?
I now that you say that, I love the textures in the background, and let's speak on that. This looks like a newly updated logo. I'll tell you, being from Iowa, there's a lot of tigers in the area. It seems to be a pretty popular mascot. In fact, if you look at the research, tigers is one of those top 3 mascots. And so trying to find something that sets you apart or maybe different, especially if you've got other tigers within district's reach and arm reach of your school, it would make it pretty difficult to find a way to set yourself apart. It seems as though they've done this with this new logo branding, and I'll tell you what my favorite part is. A couple times I've seen this on their social media popping up, the side-facing version of their logo, the full-body tiger. You don't see a whole lot of full-body mascots here with logo redesigns. I love the fact that they've included that here with their particular brand.
It adds that kind of layer of depth and that alternate logo that you can use that really is eye-catching. Especially, I know they have it as their Twitter or X profile picture, that full-body tiger. And, when we talk about these things, you got to think about the community first and what they're doing to be inclusive for all their sports and getting their stories out there works wonders for the community, because everyone around is more than capable of going to ADM activities and catching up on, last night's score or a story that was written about their son or daughter or grandson, granddaughter, or their neighbor down the street. And just having that information accessible to the public goes a long way. So if that's something that kind of you're looking to aim for, make sure it's out there, easily accessible on your website, because like I said, that goes a long way in this kind of realm.
Absolutely. One thing that I am noticing or not noticing for that fact is a broadcast presence. The fact that we are even at that point that we can maybe say, hey, you're doing such a great job, but I think it's just again, it's another tip of the hat to what they're doing. It does look like they're throwing things on YouTube, whether that's the use of those huddle cameras becoming very popular now, just being able to stream directly from there. I would be curious to see if they're maybe not looking to expand that role or looking to do some things outside with maybe a broadcast class or something of that nature.
All right, after taking a look at their website and kind of really highlighting what ADM is doing very well, we're going to jump over their social media presence. I'm going to start on X. Again, right off the bat, you get a plethora of logos here with their banner and their profile picture. We talked about that full body tiger. Again, catches the eye. You don't see that often, as we mentioned, but also you get the tiger head, the ADM activities, and the paw print on there. Great across the board. Just as soon as I go to their page, I know I'm looking at ADM Athletics.
All right, and I went right to ADM Schools, which is their high school presence here, doing a good job of keeping things updated, stories attached to most of the things that they're doing. So it's a great way to get those extra points for influencing is anytime that you can put a link into your social media and people have to click onto that, you get that higher interaction rate from X. So great job there. People call it clickbait, but that's how you get that extra interaction point from X. So great job of doing that. They're keeping things, it looks like a weekly, if not bi-weekly post, as things probably pop up. This is kind of like in between seasons. You can kind of feel that right now, but they're doing a good job. So whether or not they're implementing a social calendar or something, it kind of feels like this is very well planned out. You probably have a lot of people who are contributing to this. It's a too big of a task for just one person. So, this really is one of those situations where it takes a village and it doesn't require a whole lot of money. It's just being intentional, being consistent, and then having the right people in the room to be able to carry that message.
Going back to the ADM activities account, they've done a great job as well of everything I see, they're retweeting all of their athletic accounts posts, whether that's alumni posts, just updates on how the sport's doing. Everything I see, ADM Girls Track and Field is retweeted by their athletics account. ADM Tigers Track and Field, again, retweeted by the athletics account. I've seen a couple dance, a couple cheer, a couple palm. Again, just bringing to light those each individual program's social media platforms and kind of retweeting almost every post that they put out, kind of just sharing that information. And then the posts themselves, I just got to say they're doing a great job. A photo's attached to just about every post I've seen. They're using hashtags. They're mentioning the right people. All the information is readily available, easy to read, easy to find. You know what the post is about. We even have sponsors kind of tagged in a couple posts. So again, they're doing a great job on the social media side of just brand awareness. Everything's on brand. I know I'm looking at an ADM post with every post that they're sending out.
And you know how important this is to me. This is like my number one thing when I go to a social media. How are the handles being associated back to the school? We've talked about it in the past that it should be easy for us to be able to find the softball account, find the track and field account, find the tennis account. Because when I have something positive to say about those programs, if it takes me longer than 20 or 30 seconds to be able to find them on a social media account, then the chances of me continuing with that post or being able to get recognition exactly where it's supposed to go decreases dramatically. And we've missed an opportunity there. So they have some sort of policy in place where they are using the @ADM prefix on all of their handles. Love that continuity across their programs. Makes it really easy to find. And then having those programs follow each other, right? It also increases the visibility of those accounts. And when you can give that pat in the back or that attaboy, attagirl, from those multiple accounts, especially from a school that looks like utilizes multi-sport athletes, that's just going to increase your brand. It's also going to increase school spirit and pride, which is something I think that every school is grasping at right now. Is how do we increase, maintain, reignite the student pride in our own schools and our own sports programs.
Just looking at everything overall, they've done a great job creating a cohesive brand across not only their website, but their socials. Whether it's their main account, whether it's their individual athletics account, like we just had mentioned, even as simple as, the handles they use with the pictures they use, the font, the color, everything. They've done a great job of kind of making that clear throughout the program with a little more focus, I think, on engagement and looking at kind of drawing in some feedback on those posts. I think they could really take that to the next level. And kind of like we talked about too with the broadcasting side, I believe they're at a point where they can kind of start to explore those things.
Absolutely. So I found the page here. I want to say, congratulations, Rod Weber's athletic activities director for ADM, Alex Schneebe, assistant activities director, and Dana Brown, that activities office administrative assistant. You guys are ahead of the pack here. You're ahead of the curve, doing all of the right things. Really look forward to see where you take this brand here in the next few years. So hats off to ADM. You've got a great thing going. I would guess that the success is probably there, and you're going to have that continued success. This seems like a very small piece of the puzzle, but it is actually one of the largest and most oversought items to take care of. Brand perception of your school, of your community, can go so far, and we reap the benefits in that win column once this foundation has been set, and you have people portraying the same message, the same brand, wearing the same colors, using the same logo. They are far and ahead of where they need to be, and my hat's off again to them and the continued success to ADM.
Well, that wraps up our review for today. Thank you, Eric, for again having me on and kind of letting me share some ideas and what I see out of ADM. Thank you to the listeners for tuning in to another Revive Review.
Zach, appreciate you having here on the show today. Join us next time as we review another high school sports department and branding marketing efforts. And until then, keep supporting your local teams and stay connected with us on social media at Revive Solutions on X. You can also get to us on Instagram, Revive_Solutions. All right. And if you need to check us out, you can check us out online. Our website is revivesolutions.com. Any information that you might need, or if you have questions for us, or maybe you want to be featured on one of our future episodes, send us an email at info@revivesolutions.com.